How do North Korean generals have so many medals in peacetime? It's a question as perplexing as the Hermit Kingdom itself. Why do North Korean generals have so many medals when they haven't fought a proper war in over 70 years? Part of the answer is that they're allowed to wear the decorations of their parents and grandparents. The other is that they'll give out medals to literally anyone and anything, even if they aren't human. Throughout over 75 years, the DPRK, or Democratic People's Republic of Korea, has given out shed-loads of medals. This is mainly because when the country's going through hard times, it likes to make as many heroes as possible to distract the population from the awful reality. These honors can be generally split into two distinct categories, military and civil, which we'll now take a look at in more detail. Let's start off with military decorations, which are considered the most prestigious. At the top of the pecking order is the Order of Kim Il-sung. First introduced in 1972, officially it's given to those who have exceptionally pleased the great leader. Predictably, these are almost always individuals in the Kim inner circle of leadership, many of whom have actually been given it several times. Because of this, it's estimated to have been handed to less than 1,000 people throughout its entire existence. Matching its gravitas and symbolic value, it's usually presented every year on April 15th, which is North Korea founder Kim Il-sung's birthday and a national holiday. In 2012, son followed father with the introduction of a direct equivalent called the Order of Kim Jong-il, giving flashy generals yet another opportunity to bedeck themselves out in their finery. A little below this is the Hero of the Republic, which was created right at the start of the Korean War, in the early 1950s. These are reserved for those who have shown extreme courage in battle, with recipients of this illustrious honorific receiving a medal with a massive gold star on it. Unsurprisingly, a large proportion of them were issued during the Korean War. In subsequent decades, though, the lack of conflict meant the criteria was changed. Nowadays, it's also handed to those who display bravery. And it doesn't have to be during battle, and they don't even have to be alive to receive it. To give one particularly dramatic example, one police officer who was supervising underground construction work was adulated with it when things took a turn for the worst. Realizing that an explosive device was about to detonate prematurely, he flung his body to shield the sacred letters of Kim Il-sung, which were hung on the wall from the blast, turning him into red paste in the process. During the Korean War, mass casualties and a greater number of active troops prompted the government to introduce additional awards in recognition of military service. These included the Order of Soldiers' Honor, which was given to unit leaders and commanders who were rewarded with promotions, increased salary, and even free education up to university level for their children. Elsewhere, the Order of Freedom and Independence, as well as the Military Merit Medal, were bestowed upon lower-ranking fighters, while the Order of Yi Sun-sin, named after a famous Korean admiral, was reserved for those in the Navy. That's about it as far as major military medals go. Now, I know what you're thinking, is that it? But just hold on, because we're about to take a look at civil medals. And trust me, there's a lot of them. By civil, I mean medals handed out during peacetime, which really gets to the heart of the question we're addressing here. The highest of these is called the Hero of Labor, or Order of Labor, which was also established during the Korean War. As you might have already figured out, this is given to workers who display outstanding skill and commitment, but it can also be given to mothers who bear lots of children. Labor heroes are entitled to medical treatment at the best facilities, access to the best houses, first-class travel on trains, while their children are often prioritized over others when applying for higher education. Over the years, some very odd people have been lauded with this prodigious title. A man named Mr. Changchun-sil, for instance, was awarded it twice for cultivating barren farmland with human waste. According to the citation, He carried it over his shoulder in pails for decades. There have been other recipients of it as well, some that aren't even human beings. But you'll have to stay until the end to find that out. Now, speaking of recognition, today's sponsor, Odoo, deserves a standing ovation for helping businesses thrive in today's fast-paced world. Whether you're starting a business or scaling one, Odoo's all-in-one platform has you covered. From managing sales and accounting to creating sleek professional websites, Odoo provides everything you need to succeed. One feature that impressed us the most is Odoo's website app. Let me show you just how easy it is to use. All right, here we go. Let's say I want to create a website to showcase my surplus of North Korean metals. Oh, okay, never mind. Let's make a military hardware store instead. In just a few clicks, I can drag and drop these blocks, edit this text, change the colors, add some images, and we're done as quick as that. Everything is fully customizable. And with the ChatGPT integration, I can rephrase or adjust my content in seconds. Even better, Odoo's first app, like the website app, is completely free to use forever. That includes free support and unlimited hosting. Plus, by using our link in the description, you can claim a free custom domain for a full year. Give it a try. We think you'll love it. After the Korean War, the list of civil awards was expanded greatly. It started out innocently enough with the institution of multiple people's prizes, recognizing achievements in areas of national interest. By this, I'm referring to the creation of the People's Prize for the Arts, Science, Children, and Literature of the 1960s. Kinda sounds like the Nobel Prizes, right? While at the same time, though, in true communist style, a variety of medals for professions were brought in. And this is where things start to get a little bit silly. The first in this cohort were the merited athlete, merited railroad worker, merited doctor, merited pharmacist, merited fisherman, and the People's Artist Award. After this, it got even more specific with the establishment of medals for salt makers, geological prospectors, electricians, weather forecasters, foresters, and even tractor drivers. By the end of the century, there were trinkets for movie industry suppliers, those responsible for working security and scheduling, statisticians and workers in the marine and rail transport industries. Loading the number further were bits of brass commemorating important historical events. In relation to this, those that marked the foundation of the Korean Army, the creation of the North Korean state, and the end of the Korean War were just some that were released in the 20th century. The latest one came out in 2008 to signify the 60th anniversary of the DPRK. All right, you might feel a little overwhelmed at this point by the sheer quantity of honors I've mentioned. But you have to hold on a bit longer because guess what? There's more. In the 1990s, the North Korean state started throwing trophies at people who had simply participated in important construction projects. It all began in 1992 with the presentation of a general award for participation in capital construction. What followed were medals for the building of the Mount Kumgang power plant in 1996, the Pyongyang-Nampo Highway in 2000, the Huacon Power Station in 2011, and the Baekdusan Hero Youth Power Station in 2015. And these are just the few we know about. Okay, so far we've established that North Korea is so crazy about gold stars that literally anyone can get one. Well, now we're going to go one step further, because even things that don't breathe can get them. The most common are machines or parts of machines that have had a good service life. In October 2001, for example, both the Hero of the Republic and the Hero of Labor awards were bestowed upon a 15-ton pneumatic hammer, which had served the state loyally by being in operation for 30 years straight. The glorification of machinery began in the 1960s. It came about when Kim Jong-un visited a textiles factory and expertly pointed out maintenance problems with one of the lathes. Number 26. An industrial tool mainly used to shape metal and wood. This gave rise to a movement in which workers modeled themselves after this particular piece of equipment, eventually leading to the establishment of the number 26 Model Lathe Factory Award, which is given out to machines, factories, and workplaces that are especially productive. 2012. This same lathe was honored again with a Hero of Labor Medal as a reward for 50 years of loyal operation. But wait, it gets even stranger. In 2000, a ginkgo tree was made a Hero of the Republic. During the Korean War, the tree demonstrated its commitment to the protection of the fatherland when it sheltered a North Korean vehicle under its branches from a United States aircraft which supposedly crashed into it. So finally back to the question. Even if inanimate objects and tractor drivers can be given trophies, is it any wonder that North Korean generals are plastered with them?